Ibrahimovic kan göra 4 mål. Ja, det är inte helt otänkbart, för nu är Joe Hart ute och det blir mål! Det blir mål! Det är det värsta jag har sett! Det är inte klokt! Han cyklar in den där från 25 meter. Det är inte klokt, Jens! Det ska inte gå! Det ska inte gå! Det är 4-2 för Sverige och Zlatan gör alla målen och han gör cirkuskonster som är överjordiska.
Zlatan, what a goal, what a player. It's perhaps one of the best strikes of all time. I'm not going to say the, but that's up for you guys to decide. And it has reverberated around the world. And here at the Sherlock, we loved it so much that I decided maybe I should get it tattooed into my own self as a little memento to the great man. So we'll just have a look at that one right there. It's pretty damn cool. And now let's get on to this weekend's Premier League preview. So another big week coming up this week. First up, we have Sunderland versus West Brom. Both of those sides had wins last week. Sunderland finally managed to put some goals past another team and looked a bit better. West Brom, on the other hand, beat Chelsea, and they are now sitting 4th on the table, which is absolutely amazing for a side of their stature. Put together, that current side was put together for less than £9 million. So that's a huge one. They should go to the Stadium of Light and win 2-1, I'm going to say. Wigan versus Reading next. Wigan and Reading both struggling a fair bit. 16th and 17th respectively on the table. They're close to the sale. This one will probably be a draw 1-1. Then we have Everton hosting Norwich. Everton were done last week. They should slowly get back in form. At home, they're still a formidable side. Norwich, on the other hand, had an amazing win over Manchester United. No one expected it. It was 1-0. They scored in the 60th minute. The Reds could not get back into the game, and that was a good win. Sadly, they'll probably go to Everton and get done 2-1. Then United, of course, hosting Queen's Park Rangers. They were humbled at Norwich. They have been a very slow starting side this year, conceding first so often, and when they conceded first so late in the game, there was no time for them to sort of get a bit of momentum going and get started. That being said, they do have the best goals for tally in the Premier League, and they should extend that against QPR, a side that there's a lot of rumours circulating that the players are starting to form a bit of a mutiny against manager Mark Hughes, who they're just not happy with. They're rooted to the bottom of the table with still 4 points and are still winless. That'll continue at Old Trafford. It'll be 3-0. Then we see Stoke host Fulham. Both a bit disappointed the previous weeks. Stoke, of course, drew 1-1 with West Ham. They'll probably beat Fulham 1-0. Then we see Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Aston Villa played Man City last week, and it was almost a cricket score. They went down 5-0. Arsenal, on the other hand, repeated the North London derby scoreline at the Emirates of last year, beating Tottenham 5-2 again. They do need to tighten up at the back, but otherwise they're really turning into a good side this year. They should be able to beat Villa, who have just 9 points from 12 games. That'll be 3-1. Then we see Swansea take on Liverpool. Swansea are doing very, very well this season. They're sitting 10th. They beat Newcastle in the Tyneside last week. Liverpool, on the other hand, had a good 3-0 win over Wigan. Suarez is in good form. They'll probably go to Wales and get done 2-1. Then we see Southampton hosting Newcastle. Southampton did win 3-1 over QPR to get them a little bit higher on the table. They're still deep in the relegation zone. Newcastle, of course, were beaten 2-1 at home. Now, though, is the time for the Magpies to move towards the top. They really have to start getting into some form. They've got to be going to places like Southampton and winning. They should do it against the worst defence in the league, who have leaked 30 goals. I'm going to say 2-0 to Newcastle. Then we see Tottenham hosting West Ham. This is early Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Spurs were thumped by their rivals Arsenal last week. They started well. Adebayor scored, got them going, 1-0 lead, and then the Goose got himself sent off. West Ham scraped to a 1-1 draw against Stoke with a later equaliser from, I think, Joey O'Brien. The Carroll-Nolan pairing is doing so well up front. Andy Carroll might not have scored a lot of goals, but getting the ball in the air, he's knocking it down, and Kevin Nolan, his good friend, is scoring. So that's doing quite well. They'll probably get a 1-1 draw at White Hart Lane. And our final match of the week is a big one between Chelsea and Manchester City. Chelsea have had 2 pretty bad losses for them in the last few days. They got done away at West Brom, of course, and then lost during the week in Turin to Juventus. So Chelsea, they're not looking too good in Europe. They're struggling a bit in the league. What they need, I feel, is an actual striker that can score some goals. I've got these 3 great number 10s in Oscar, Juan Mata, and Eden Hazard, but they're putting these balls into the box and no one can actually put it into the net. So that's a bit of a struggle for them. City, on the other hand, they thumped Villa 5-0. They're getting into their stride a bit better. Man City, we're still a bit in the doubt of him, but they should go and be the second Manchester side to win. That'll be 2-1, I'm going to say. So that's us for another week. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the football. Come down to the Sherlock if you get a chance, and we'll catch you next week.